Greetings, this is Gerard. Again, thank you for joining me on this narration of my trade today. I had an amazing trade, and my hope with those videos is to give you an idea of what goes into my mind, what powers the discipline, and also what do I look forward to, what is my technique, what is my strategy, what where do I enter and where do I end. But more importantly, I want to convey the idea that trading is a real thing, that you are able to achieve a living trading. But now let's go. So right now what I'm doing, I am on the first 1 minute chart and I am drawing my support and resistance lines. The reason why support and resistance are important is because I use support and resistance to have an idea where trades might start and when movements, I should say when movements might start, movement might end. Because depending on where you're trading, depending on which time frame you're using, movement on a 4-hour time frame is very different than movement on a 1 minute time frame. So by looking at all different areas, all different support and resistance, yes, as you can see here, I am drawing everything. The reason is my strategy is a high risk, high reward strategy, which leaves little, it leaves little room for error. And as important as it is to know when to enter, it's even more important to know when to let go of the trade, to know when to say, you know what, I've arrived at my goal and I don't believe that the market is going to do anything else, or I should just exit. Now, the market, the price action has broken this first level. I will say this. I should have entered here. Yes, as you can tell, this is a very good setup and it stops at the other level, the other support resistance level. Right now it's more support. Now that I'm seeing this, I'm wondering, okay, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance. It's crossing it, there's a chance it might continue to go down, and you know what, I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna continue and see where it goes. So right now, well, the reason why I entered this trade, it's mostly intuition. This trade is mostly an intuitive trade based on hours, days of learning and days of trading. Those type of trades, when you recognize them, it seems like it's an emotional response or almost like magic, when really it's your mind making billions of computation in 1 second and recognizing based on, it's almost like a machine learning situation, based on the data set of many trades that have happened, based on the data set and experience of many times when you studied your previous trades. It seems that there is something in this situation that would give a sense that there is a trade coming. So now, as you can tell, we are on the 50-minute chart and we are exactly on a support resistance line. Now I'm switching to the 30 minutes, and what I realize is, we have the 50 SMA, simple moving average, which is the yellow line or curve, if you want to call it that. Then you have the 60 SMA, which is the purple, the huge purple bolted curve. One of my strategies, most of my strategies have an amazing and interesting, if not very important, crucial relationship with the SMAs. I use the SMAs as this is where the trade will end. Oftentimes, as a scalper, I find that price action will touch an SMA line, whether it's the 14-period SMA, the 15 periods of the 6 or the 60 period. Or what it will do, it will cross it, and then if it doesn't continue the movement and reverse it, I should exit. Now, what I'm seeing that the trade is kind of working. Wow. Now I'm on the 5-minute and it's retreating. What is happening here? Not quite sure. Just waiting. As you can tell at the bottom left, There's two, right now it's 1.5, 2.5. This is the amount of pips. And I'm simply wondering, okay, now it's 5 pips, 4 pips. And I'm wondering, okay, what's going on? Is that a trade? Okay. Is it gone? Or is it hitting a support resistance line that I've not seen? What's going on? So right now, what I want to do is capitalize on that 3, 4 pips. When you look at it at the bottom, you can see my daily return is um, it's really right now with 3 pips, it's 0.4%, which is a lot, guys. That's quite a bit. I don't recommend that much unless you are sure that your strategy has that as a high rate of success. At least by high rate of success, I mean two things. The first one is the amount of success you have using the strategy is definitely much more than your losses. And then your losses have to be definitely lower than what you make with your wins. Which means if first of all, if your losses are equals to your wins, which means your stop loss somewhat has the same, is a 1-to-1 ratio. You'd need to have at least 60% wins and 40% loss, or if not 51% wins, 50% loss. But maybe the broker will take that margin. Now, for superbly high risk, you also need to have an example where your wins are maybe 15 pips and your losses are, I would say, 5 pips. Okay, now we are at 4 pips and the market, and I find that the price action often has this flirting situation that's happening. And of course, sometimes more than flirting, it goes into full panic mode. Like, look at this movement. From 5 pips, it went back all the way up. All the way up. And my only salvation are my rules. My only salvation lies in my rules. And right now, you can tell it's moving up. Yes, I don't have my 5 pips anymore. Right now, I have a minus 2.53 pips. But what I'm waiting for is whether price action is going to go back and cross back, reverse that previous support resistance line. That for me is truly important. That's when I know I should consider exit. And then to consider exit, price action would do this, and then the next candle would have to be, we have to start and close above that support resistance line. The reason why I choose to have those two modes of assurance of security, it's simply because the market oftentimes will make a movement and then reverse. Like for example here, look at that. Look at this. And you can tell, this is me right now. You can tell I'm very intent on understanding what I'm doing and understanding what's going to happen. Also, there are times where you might be a little bit emotionally less strong, emotionally weaker than possible. Then you give yourself another stop loss. Like for example, my first mode of stop loss is always the dotted purple line. Then my hard stop loss is that really that bold purple line. Now I move the purple line. Why? Because another mode of exit when the trade isn't working well is whether price action is crossing back, reversing the 14 SMA. Now on the 5-minute chart, you can tell the 14 SMA, which is the light blue curve that's on top, that's closer to, basically that's really on top. That's the line that I look for. And right now I'm just writing what I should do, because at times I'm a very visual person. I need to write down my plan, my exit. I need to write down my support, emotional support. Sometimes I write down, Gerard, you got this. Gerard, this is a great trade. Gerard, things are gonna go well. Gerard, you always win. That's actually one of my most Gerard, you always win, or Gerard, you always win when you do the right thing. That's one of my most powerful mantras. So now we're on the 1-minute chart, and you can tell price action has reached the 14 SMA, the 14 period SMA. And I'm at a point right now where I have to make a decision. If it crosses it and then a candle starts and closes above the SMA, then I have to accept that this trade wasn't the trade for me. And I am fine. I'm grateful for the opportunity, the fact that I discovered this potential strategy, which is a cross to SMA line. Although I will be the first to tell you that I should have had more courage in recognizing the first movement in which it broke that first line. But now I'm breathing better now because there is a chance price action will continue going down after touching the SMA. Okay, I'm reducing my stop loss. Now the SMA even is going down, and I'm happy about that. And I'm wondering, okay, is there a super resistance line that I should look for? What's going on? Now I want to see what's happening in the 5 minute. Yes, it touched back the line, the my trading line. I'm excited about that. That's powerful. That means that there's a chance it will continue. Now, what is my strategy at this point? Price action went down, a reversed. Now it might go back down again. Okay, right now what I'm actually trying to do is I'm trying to re-enter another trade, because I feel that this is a brand new trade that's happening right now. But I'm being clumsy and I'm not entering. And you know what? That was an emotional effort. I'm just going to keep trading. Now, where are we right now? Right now we are at 0.6 pips. Yes, 0.6 pips is not 5 pips, but there is hope with this trade. As a scalper, you fall in love and, well, how should I say? You fall in love and you part with every trade that happens. This trade, the potential of each trade is so seductive that you fall in love with it. You're emotionally attached to it. You want it to work. First of all, for the monetary gains, but also for the sake of the trade. Sometimes winning is a beautiful feeling, something that you savor. Eyes closed. It's tiramisu for your brain. Now, despite this tiramisu talking, the price action is stalling. Oh, that's beautiful, right? By the way. But here, as you can tell, we have three. I also work on symmetry. Here I'm seeing we have three candles. I would say three reverse candle. Okay, the yellow candles are bullish candles. And I'd like to have some symmetry. Right now I'm seeing we have four bearish candle going down, and this it's not I would have preferred 3 and 3, but right now what I'm really focused on and what I'm really aiming for is my exit and the continuation of this trade. And as you can tell, I'm continually pushing down my SMA because if I'm not going to have a win, I'm gonna limit my losses. Now we are at 3 pips. This is 0.3% of my account, which is nice. And now price action is getting close. It's getting close to the previous support. I wanted to cross. As you can tell, I was beckoning the market to just go down. My friend, go down. You've emotionally played with my heart. But now I've also lowered my stop loss. That way I'm limiting my losses. That way I visually know where I should exit. So now I'm simply waiting. I'm waiting for the market to decide what it's going to do. I have no way to... Oh, that's a little mistake, and I will remedy to that quickly. Now, the market is not moving as fast as I want. It does sometimes, but right now it's taking a sweet time. And that's a little concerning. Why? Because why is it taking another one? Why is there another candle? And you can tell my disarray. Actually, it's not really disarray. I'm not happy. I am feeling a bit. What's? Whoa! How beautiful was that movement? And you can tell in my face, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to do. It seems incredible. Like all of a sudden, I was in the right trade. Basically, I was able to sense based on market movement, based on my prior analysis, which I should have put in that video. I should have at least give you a sense of my pre-trade analysis. But now we are at 11 pips. Wow, 11 pips. 11 pips. Guys, look at that. 1.4% of my account. Imagine if I had a million. That's exactly the power of trading. You don't change your strategy, but you, as a human being, you grow emotionally. Right now, I'm simply handling a couple $1,000s. Eventually, the million will come. Now, 18 pips. Wow! Look at my face. That's one of the reasons why I enjoy doing those post-trades analysis. And I get to look at my face while I'm trading. But this is concerning. Truly concerning. And you can tell my face, the rictus. I have a rictus which is almost sheer disbelief, but wondering, should I exit? Because when you think about it, that's 12 pips. 12 pips, 1.6% of my account. That's very good. But now, what is my rule? When should I exit? I am choosing to put a hard stop at that line. And I'm wondering, okay, my rule demands that first, price action has to cross, then a new candle. And here I go on the 30-minute trade, 30-minute chart, and I realize it's not touched the SMA yet. So there's a chance, there's a chance, price action, there's a chance you might still want to go down. But then, like I said, I'm considering leaving. It's 9 pips. From 18 to 9. It's painful, but I have a rule for a reason. And something as a trader, trading 4 or 5 years, that I've come to accept and I've come to abide by is that the rules is where you gain consistency. And the rules define you as a trader, not the market. Right now, guess what? If this candle is moving up and look at that relief, I'm feeling relieved because price action is moving down from that line. So there's a chance it might continue. Ooh, the possibility of amazing profits. Nothing tastes, smells better than that. That's better than French dessert, better than Italian pasta, or even Haitian cooking, which I am from. I'm from Haiti. But wow, 16 pips. Now, we do know that the lowest the market has dipped has been that line. Now, I'm simply waiting for it to possibly touch the 14 SMA on the 30-minute chart. Can you see how there's this almost interesting aspect where it seems like the SMA is attracting. The SMA is attracting price action. And I'm waiting for this. At the same time, I'm being very conscious. I am accepting that I need to protect my profits. At this point, I'm not willing to go to dip all the way back to 10 pips. Right now, this is my profit, like 15 pips, 16 pips, and let's see how far we go. Let's see how far we go. Right now, there's no reason for me to consider leaving this trade, but as you can tell, there's three lines I wanted to cross. The red line, the red line, the dotted blue line, which is the highest, I would say the lowest it's dipped, and then there is the goal line of the bold blue at the bottom. Yes, it's crossed and it's staying. Wow! Look at my face. I love this. This is one of those moments where you realize what life has given me this gift, this beautiful gift, and life has repaid me for my patience and my discipline. Guys, 30 pips. 30 pips. Okay? Now, you can see it's crossed the SMA. And a part of me, the ambitious part of me, is wondering, are you gonna be so good to me that you will go all the way down to the 60 SMA? Would you give me this gift? Would you grant me this favor? Oh, goddess of the all forest goddess. But then here, I'm making a slight little mistake. Yes, I'm taking notes, which is good. And it's great, 5%. But I need to go back on the 1 minute and see what's happening. So I'm making this point. Now, how much has it reversed? 5 pips. And I'm thinking if it reverses past 6 pips, I should probably exit. But then the market does this thing and it's reversing brutally. As much as it can. That was 42 pips. Whoa, look at that, 32 pips. 31, 33. Oh, please go down. Go down. No, what? It's not reversing. Reverse, please. Whoa, 31 pips. Guys, look at how rough this is. So now I'm going back here. Okay, my other account. To go down. This other account. Now, it's tough. Now, go back and exit, Gerard. Exit, my friend. And I did. I had to. From 42 pips, this reversal was too brutal. Guys, that's a brutal reversal. Let's see. How much was it? See, it didn't touch. I'm a bit disappointed that it did not touch. Still got my face. I'm thinking, you could have touched that other line. You could have touched that other. So, how much did it reverse? Guys, 17 pips reversal? 17 pips? And you expected me to still stay in that trade? As they say in the South, hell no. Of course not. I am quite happy with my 30 pips. Yes, 44 pips. That would have been grandiose. That would have been beautiful. But I'm happy. And I'm accepting that this trade, there's something about this trade that was quite beautiful. It was a stroke of not genius but intuition. It was my mind recognizing patterns and acting on them. But then here, I don't know if I could have done anything different because the market reversed so rapidly, so brutally, so heartbreakingly. Now, we should also admit that one person's gain is maybe someone else's loss. So there's someone else in this world looking at this reversal and saying, I would like you to go up, market. I would like you to spring up. And something I could have done a little better in my pre-period analysis is defining more support and resistance line. As you can tell, it did not touch the 60 SMA, but it definitely touched something reversed. Now, what am I doing? I am trying to understand the movement. As you can tell here, I wish I had back. I'm just thinking, okay, so here what's happening. I want to go back and study movement and understand what happened. So here there's a sideways movement. It went back, it crossed briefly the 50 SMA, and then from that point, it started dipping. And the first dip, okay, moving myself just so I can see, Gerard. And the first dip, and of course right now what I'm doing for later, for studying, I take screenshots. And that's also something that I want to have a blog or a post about. The idea of having screenshots, just so you can emotionally, instantly recognize trades and act on them. Every day, for example, today is I believe 14th, the 13th December. I have my days of trade. and I would take screenshots from the London Open and the New York Open. And of course, as I shared before, after 9:30, um, ideally, I'm not trading anymore. I know there's some very good trades. There's the banker's close that happen in Europe sometimes after that, but after that, I don't trade anymore. I prefer the discipline, the focus, and not the unpredictability, but the power of the opens. So right now, let's see. If I were to have this trade, that would have been a nice 14 pips, which is good. A nice 14 pips from the previous resistance support, as you can tell in the with red the red star. That would have been 16, 14 to 16 pips, which is a good movement. Now, what I'm doing right now. Oh, I'm trying to assess the times. The times. When did those movements start? So 140. So that's basically, what is 140? 140 is, oh yes, 140 GMT. That's 740. Now there's a second movement which we saw and I entered. So the second movement after the support line, 32. Oh, that's the last movement. 32 pips that we did. And guess what? Guess what? See this? Price action is going up and it's stalling by the 14 SMA, which is that light blue curve. And guess what? If we're to stay in that trade, could we have risked that trade? I don't really know, but all I know is you can tell it's staying along that line and possibly going to go back down, go back up, some sideways movements because it's been quite a bit of movement. So right now, I'm simply, yes, so that's around what I would have made 40, 42, 43 pips. And looking at how much profit we made, not so bad. We can always do better. And guys, I should say this. I'm putting it out there for everyone to see and for you to support me and keep me accountable. For you in a year to say, Gerard, you said you were going to make this happen and you made it happen. You're amazing. My goal for next year is 10K a month. I will make 10K a month. And right now it starts with days of $100. How much would 10K a month be? 10K a month. The math evades me. But okay, so trading, if you were trading 20 days, make $100, that's $2,000. That means I would need 2,000 by 5. I would need $500 a month. $500 a day. Yes. Yes, that's what I would need. $500 of profit. So there it is. I've mentioned my goal. I want to thank you for being with me today. We had an amazing day of trade. And again, today was us making this trade out of intuition, support and resistance lines, and also sticking to our rules. That was the best part of this trade. Sticking to the rules, because especially with exit, when we have to exit, we exit. But until the signs say we exit, we stay in the trade. See you guys tomorrow.